Welcome to the Sports Insider Pro Daily Fantasy Football Podcast. From cash games to GPPs, we'll give you the info you need with breakdowns of all the games and key matchups to help you create your lineups. And now, here are your hosts, Ryan Hickswa and Justin Alvarez.
Hello, Insiders. I am Ryan Hickswa. Here with me is Justin Alvarez. As always, we're here to break down all you're going to need to know about this week's slates and lineups and matchups to help you guys cash. Justin, how you doing tonight?
Doing all right. Getting ready to dive in.
All right. Before we start to break matchups down and go through all the fun stuff, I have a philosophical dilemma for you now. This week, more than I've seen probably in other weeks in daily, is they're really making, at least on DK, I'm not too sure about FanDuel, but they're really making you commit to either going wide receiver heavy or running back heavy. When you're building lineups, what are you looking to do?
So I'm over at FanDuel. So how I've been looking at everything, it's pretty simple for me. Cash games, I'm going to be paying down at quarterback. Now, running back and wide receiver, I've been playing around with. It depends what you believe in and what your stats are pointing you towards.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, I think I'm going one decent running back, top tier, and then another lower, maybe mid or lower if I could fit the mid, but if not, I might have to go lower. And then my wide receivers, I kind of want those kind of mid to top tier, the AJ Greens, the Keenan Allens, the Emmanuel Sanders. I don't really want to drop down too low, but unless value opens up, like we'll talk about in a few of these games that possibly could have some value at wide receiver, then I don't mind that, so I can pay up at other positions. The other thing is for tight end, I know there's a lot of people who like paying down and stuff, but lately I've just realized I just rather pay for the floor of. There's only one guy, and we'll get into him, but I'll get into why I want to pay.
Yeah, it's
Zach. It's Ertz, but I'll get into why I want that safety. And I mean, but otherwise, yeah, you're paying down again because you're not paying up all the way for Gronk or something. So yeah, that's how I'm approaching it.
All right. I'm pretty same with you. I mean, right now I'm looking at, if it's cash, I want to go running back heavy. If it's GPP, let me go wide receiver heavy. We have some good matchups. This is going to be a fun one. We're going to breeze through some of these lesser matchups just so we can have some fun with the big ones. So let's dive right in. First off, we're going to go through Pittsburgh-Baltimore quick. The over-under is 42. Pittsburgh's a favorite. I'm not really playing anything out of this. I'm looking at Baltimore side a little bit more. I think Pittsburgh's defense is a little bit more vulnerable. I know Baltimore came off a molly-whopping from Jacksonville, but these two teams always play hard. The over-under, or an over-under of 42 is probably high for these two teams. I know there's some maybe tournament play with Brown. He's always going to do well. But I'm not going to play him in cash. I think there's better spots to play. The only ones I'm really looking at is maybe Ben Watson. He's got a good matchup. And then maybe Buck Allen. What do you think?
I don't really think I'm going anywhere in this game. On either side.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like how Pittsburgh has looked. Ben Roethlisberger, we know, struggles on the road. It's a divisional game. It's just, if anything, I take Baltimore's defense, but again, I'm still not going there. One of the D tackles on Baltimore is injured, and I don't think he's playing, and he's one of the top graded run stoppers, so that might help Le'Veon. And that's my question to you. I know you're saying you don't want to touch this game, but
Nope.
Le'Veon Bell
Nope.
might be 2% owned because no one's going to play him. And he's still Le'Veon Bell. So,
no.
No, you're just not doing it?
There's just so much goodness everywhere. That's so much I can't. I'd love to, but no, this isn't the spot to do it. They know each other. I just
No,
no.
I
I
agree
mean,
with
if I was doing 150 lineups, would I have him in a couple? Sure, but no.
No, I agree. I just wanted to get your take. Like he just hasn't looked in shape, I guess, or just up to the
Yeah,
program
no, it's
since
going to take him some time. I mean, look at
yeah.
Cam too from a standpoint.
Well,
It's just no.
Cam
This
just
isn't
looked
the. I don't
wrong.
think this is the spot. And like I said, if you want a GPP, it
Yeah,
just isn't the week.
I think me and you agree that this week we're just concentrating mostly on some core plays and keeping it within a group. We're not really trying to go outside of these with dart throws, and even this isn't a dart throw, but it's more of like we're
No,
just
it's a
probably not gonna.
philosophical thing. It's
Yeah,
Le'Veon Brown. You've been playing Le'Veon Brown for 3 years almost every.
Le'Veon Bell.
That's what I said, Le'Veon Bell.
You said Brown. That's Antonio Brown.
Oh yeah, whatever.
You fused them
Yeah,
together.
yes. Now, see if that's what we could do,
Yeah,
then
that would be
we
awesome.
we'd all be making tons of money.
But
Yeah, I don't really. Are we good
Yeah,
with this game? I'm
yeah,
not.
we're good. We're
Yeah.
good. Keep 'em
The next one I have is Cincinnati at Cleveland. The over under is 41.5. I know. Look, AJ Green is a green light, right? I mean, he's probably going to be one of my core plays. That's why I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. It's AJ Green. I don't think, don't overthink this too much.
Yeah,
There's no Ertz. Brandon LaFell's their second best. He's going to be getting the targets. It's Cleveland. They suck. They are 31st DVOA against wide receiver ones. Playing.
Yeah, I don't think there's a question. Cleveland's just terrible.
Now, I mean, Mixon had a good game. The game script looks like it's going to be in his favor. It's still a close spread. I just don't like Mixon enough yet. And now that his price on my site, he's close to a lot of other players I'd rather have.
It's kind of crazy because it's on FanDuel. He's so cheap. He's like 56 or 58.
Sure.
And
he has touchdown equity.
Yeah, I don't trust it though. Like in cash, like again, I would love to go down here for the value, but it's just not something I really trust, and I'm gonna have him in GPPs for sure to be able to fit in some other guys, but yeah, I don't feel comfortable going there outside of a GPP. But the new offensive coordinator got him touches. He was on the field more. He was running more. Hill was phased out, I think, and Bernard didn't. He was the pass catching back. Mixon. They're trying to make him 3-down back. So hopefully it continues. That's why I'm going to have some exposure in GPP. But now cash too volatile for me at this moment.
We were talking about paying down at quarterback. Are you looking maybe to use Kaiser here? I mean, last week was a good week.
Yeah, Kaiser. I'm not going to go there. He's going to have good games and bad games, and even when he has good games, he's going to be able to still, throw 2 interceptions and still give you a decent game sometimes.
Right. No, and that's the way to go. Right now, this Bengals defense is actually ranking pretty well against the pass, and pretty good against total yardage. If anything, you want to use a run game against them. Crowell's a maybe, but I don't like it here either.
I'm off. He looks I don't know what's going on there. It's just bad. I don't care for it. They have to show me something. And now that you touched on the defense, they're one of my top defenses of the week, obviously. So
okay.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Jacksonville at the Jets. 38 over under because of the Jets, but I still think there's some goodness here from the. Sorry. They put up a big spot against Baltimore, which is very good defense. Where would you look to attack for this game?
This is the Jags and Jets, right?
Sure.
Is that what you said?
Yep.
Sorry, I was looking at something. I'm looking to attack first and foremost at the run game of the Jaguars. Fournette's a great play this week. I still think, regardless, the Jets looked good last week, but
I don't. No.
it's not that they look good. It's that
I don't want to talk about it, bro.
Miami looked like crap.
The Dolphins are the worst team to ever walk the face of the earth.
Exactly. I'm not taking that seriously. So
sorry, Dolphins fans, but
this week they should be okay in London, but I still think they lose anyway. They should lose, but they should score some points. But regardless, back to Jacksonville. I do like their defense. Another top defense. They are a bit expensive, so I'm probably not going to go there. But they have a really, really good defense that could actually, pay off really highly if McCown just struggling. Outside of Fournette, I know guys are looking at Marquise Lee and Hearns, and I'm just not personally. And maybe that's just because I play on FanDuel.
Right.
I know on DraftKings that's going to be a little different, and it'll hold more value. But
there's really, I mean, so far when I'm looking through my builds, there's not a lot of good value at the wide receiver position this week. Lee and Hearns, I think, are part of that. I mean, Bortles never plays well when he's ahead. This looks like a run game. I really would love to use. I think personally, Lee is a better choice over Hearns. I think he's going to see more targets. He has a better percentage right now. So if I wanted to pay down to fit up two of those guys, your Odells or your AJs, I don't mind paying down for like a Marquise Lee. But that's something we'll get into in a little bit.
One point on that, like, I just don't like the matchup he's in personally. Like, I know the Jets do stink and they will continue to, but Morris Claiborne has shown that he's not like some pushover. I know it's early still, so
agreed, but that's why I like Lee more. I think Hearns is going to be on Claiborne.
But Hearns has been coming out of the slot.
They move around.
If they're moving around, I still whatever. I mean, I just think it's like there's not a lot of upside, even if they're losing, and I don't think they're gonna be. So again, like they'll probably
I think Blake Bortles has a propensity to just throw the ball because he's Blake Bortles.
And then when I just think there's better spots, and I get where you're saying on DraftKings for the value. So I guess I can't.
There is no, you're right. There is.
I don't know. I just don't love it. But continue. Go ahead.
On the Jets side, at the beginning of the week, with the Forte news coming out, Powell became kind of that sole back. I looked at it as a stay away hard, but now that I look at it, Jacksonville isn't great out of, defending, pass catching running backs. Powell's going to be used. He's going to have volume. Even if they get ahead, Jacksonville, the corners are good enough that they should shut down everyone. I think he has value. I think, he's could be that GPP dart that kind of like get you there. I'm not trying to play him in 50% of my lineups, but you give me 10% of him, it'll allow me to fit in, Zeke and, those girlies, those guys, you can fit, you'll be able to fit 3 high price guys that you think are going to do things.
I mean, look, it's a great, like, obviously we have to talk about it because Forte's ruled out, but he's still splitting with the new kid. He did fumble, so that might actually hurt him, but they were running both of them out there, and so still, it should be a committee. I don't think they're just going to bench the kid right away after one fumble, but we'll see. And number 2, it's just, I don't know, it just feels, that defense is good.
The Jets won last week. Can we talk about this? Like, anything can happen. Kevin Garnett should have ran out on the 50-yard line and screamed. They should have had it set up with confetti. Like,
look, man, yeah, you're right.
There's
variance. It happens. It just doesn't. I don't think it's gonna happen again right away. But
I don't either.
Look, Bilal Powell, like on PPR again.
Yes,
agreed. It's not even a dart throw. It's gonna be a mistake. Chalk. It's.
You think he's chalk?
He's going to be chalk for a lot
No
of
way.
casual players. Oh, Forte's out. Okay, let me play this.
Yeah, no, maybe. Okay. You know what? I'm
he's
going to
cheap,
check that
and
percentage. I want to see what his ownership percentage
I just
is.
think it's going to be like, he sucks, and everyone's going to be like, why
Like
the fuck did I
Higgins.
play him? Yeah, exactly. Again.
Don't. I want to talk about it.
Like, we have to
Shut
stop.
up, Justin.
We have to stop doing this to ourselves. Like, stop talking about these guys who are like, oh, well, they could possibly have. Like,
No.
I don't care for it. I want the guys who are on the field, who are there for the snap, and I got to stop thinking this way. Like, Rashard Higgins off the practice squad, like, what the hell were we thinking? Like, he's there for a reason.
Look, I fell off. Thank God. I kind of limited my exposure to him last week, but still, that was... God, if I could only say the same about Jack Doyle. All right. I don't have much else to talk about it. Yeah. So our next game is the Giants at the Bucks, 44.5 over under. Again, I don't think there's a lot of things to talk about in this game. Neither team has a running game I care about yet until we see, Doug Martin come back. Rodgers, last year he was great, but they're not using him the same way as they did before. Watching this Tampa Bay Minnesota game last week showed me that there are no good football teams in the National Football League, because everyone that was on Jameis Winston, because I saw it coming from a while, you're crazy. He's not good. Okay, he's not
bad though.
He's not bad, but he is not what people were people were taking him over other guys that are just better because they think, oh, he's going to turn. No, let me see the turn. Let me watch the turn. Let that turn snoke in a little bit, and then maybe I'll think Jameis Winston is good. Okay, he has one target, and when they shut him out, now he has Deshaun Jackson, and that is great, but he will not be good. Those guys will be okay. So, I'm not really looking at anyone from the Tampa Bay side. There's Evans. He's got a shot. I think I'd still rather pay at other spots in the lineup. Evans is a GPP guy. Jackson obviously is in a good spot. He might even be in a better spot than he was last week.
I love Jack.
Sure. and I'll probably play him this week. Last week I was off of him because I hate playing Jackson, but
he scored. He scored, and I expect that to continue this week.
And then the only one from the Giants I'm looking to play is Odell.
Yep.
I know Shepard's out there, but he's not really in a price range for roster builds right now.
You don't need to go there.
No, and if you do, maybe a GPP, but still, I'm not.
Yeah.
If someone wins with him, God bless.
Yeah.
Is there? Do you have anything? Yeah.
No, that's it. Just Beckham and Djax. That's all I have for this game.
All right.
Beckham also, sure, great cash game play, but you're probably not going to pay up there. So
I would.
You would?
I think Odell goes off.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Look, if you're gonna, if you're debating between Antonio Brown or Julio Jones, I guess he's second. I would rather have Odell.
Okay.
Over those three.
They're both
and maybe I have him as my number one wide receiver this week. So if you can fit him and AJ Green, do it and try to that. And that's what I'm saying. That I would love to have those two, but if you're doing that, you're gonna have to find a Bilal Powell and a cheap running back to try to fit it. At least on my site.
I hear you. All right. I like that. All
right. Our next game is San Francisco at Arizona, an over/under of 44.5. There seems to be some value on one side of this matchup. I don't really like anyone on the San Francisco side. Nope. I'm not really looking to use Gore. Love him.
Who?
Gore. Hyde. Gore Jr.
Oh my God. Wait, did he get traded back?
Yeah, right.
What the hell happened?
He's the only one on that side that I might want to use.
Yeah.
But on the Arizona side, are we going back to Fitz again?
Yeah.
It's still early, right?
I don't care. I played him last week on the Monday slate, and he went off. So.
It's just a note, San Francisco is the worst against number one wide receivers.
Yeah.
32 DVOA. I don't want to do
all
it.
those corners and flat corners, they're terrible. It doesn't matter who gets
Yeah,
it.
no. I don't know if he's across the board. Definitely cash. He's at a decent value. In that mid-price range where, if you're looking at him and Hopkins, I'm probably taking him.
Oh man, that's tough. I liked them both this week.
Yeah. If you're doing what you're talking about, fitting one good running back, one good wide receiver, they're both people that you're going to want to target.
Yeah, I like them both.
What are your thoughts on Carson?
I think he's playable. He still shows he has stuff on the ball. He's not done like people assumed, and he's showing he's not scared to air it out.
Sure. The only reason why I would even consider it is because it's in Arizona.
Look, yeah, that and this defense might be worse than the Saints. So it's right. It's right there with them, if not. So this is a beautiful spot. I think they're going to score a lot. They don't have a running game, so they can't run.
Right.
So it's just
it all comes down to whether or not you want to spend a little bit extra money on quarterback. If you really want to pay down, you're going to have to pay down, and it's not going to be pretty. You're not going to like it, but you just got to know that quarterback's the place to pay down.
Look, I want this to be known. I just should have known this a long time ago, but it's really evident that paying down for quarterback works.
Yes.
The difference between like
it's the same thing that you've been doing in season long for 10 years.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. It's not a big difference. The guy scores 3 touchdowns. He has 22 points, fantasy points. He scores 1 touchdown with 300 yards, whatever. He scores you 16 points. It's like a 5, 6, 7 point difference. Where at wide receiver, tight end, those 7, 8 points are huge.
Right.
And it's harder to get those there. So you want to make sure you secure those with some good wide receivers.
Right, and especially right now, we're seeing, there's such a crazy variance. You really need to have some players that that are going to do it, and they all cost a lot of money.
Yep.
So in order to, and especially on DK, because this is the second week in a row, it's pretty tight,
Yeah.
So until we start seeing things and more data comes out and more, trends, it's going to take some time for us to be able to really find those good matches. It's definite. Absolutely.
Yeah,
do you have anyone else to talk about from that? I'm not looking at any of those flyer guys, J.J. Nelson's, John Brown.
You could play them as JPPs if they're going to help you fit, but I'm not zoning in on these guys this week.
Yeah.
But again, that defense is terrible, so I wouldn't be surprised. So I might have to look into that a little more.
All right, our next one, we have Oakland at Denver. The over-under is 46.5. I'm not really looking at too much from the Oakland side, which is crazy. Denver's favored at home. They're going to altitude. We kind of seen this. It's a narrative we like to play.
Yeah.
So from Oakland, use tight ends against Denver right now. So I don't mind Cook. He's a cheaper option.
Yeah.
So I don't mind him. He's still probably 34. I don't mind playing him. He's an okay play.
I think he's the best, one of the better tight end plays over there at or just in general. But at that price, he's in a good matchup. Like we know they funnel everything to the middle here. Funneling is a thing, and when they can't throw outside, they're just gonna look at the tight ends and running back. So I like him. You could see almost double. I think you could see double-digit targets. So.
Obviously, the better side of this is going to be coming from Denver. I think both wide receivers are in play. This isn't the same matchup as last week. We didn't see a lot happening from Washington's wide receivers coming against Oakland, which is kind of what everyone thought was going to happen. I'm glad I faded that because Kirk Cousins is great when he's throwing the ball to Chris Thompson because they're not covering him at all.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily mind CJ this week. He's at on DK. He's at 56. So in that flex spot, it's kind of nice, and you're going to get production out of him. I mean, I don't see them really.
I'm not huge on him. I don't know. The
No,
guy.
but Oakland's defense is horrible right now. They rank
It
bottom
is.
half in every single statistical category. I wouldn't even be shocked if they get burned again, and Jamal Charles goes off because he's playing that Chris Thompson kind of role.
I like Jamal Charles. I'm rooting for the guy. Like I want him to like.
He had 12 points against Buffalo, and Buffalo has shown that they are a decent defense.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be at GPP. Absolutely. I think no one's going to be on him. He plays that same role that Chris Thompson does.
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah. Which wide receiver do you like more this week?
I think I like Sanders more.
Yeah, no, I
and it's kind of crazy because a lot of people are saying Demaryius Thomas, and I'm just having trouble understanding why, because it just seems that Simeon loves going to Sanders. Like he's always over the middle. He's he's a little quicker guy. And Demaryius Thomas just uses his body and height and weight to catch balls over other guys. I don't think Simeon likes throwing into that traffic. I think he likes when Sanders has a step or two on a defender, and he just likes, all right, here you go, take it, and So I like Sanders more personally, but both guys are in play. They're both in good spots. Like you said, Oakland is legit terrible on defense.
Yeah, they have been for a while.
So I like both of these guys. I wouldn't mind stacking both of them with Simeon. I think Simeon could have a good game. My only problem is I'm trying to figure this game out, and the more I think about it, it seems they go up 14-0 at a point. I could see 21-0 because I don't think Carr is going to be successful against this Denver defense, and the run game could be okay, but I don't think they're going to crush them either. So I think it's going to be a couple field goals for Oakland, if that. And my concern, again, is, okay, now we're up. Let's run the ball and stuff. It's C.J. Anderson. You're talking about him. I don't like him either, though, because I don't think they will run the ball through Oakland. Like, they're better at stopping the run. On that side, and they're pretty decent, not great, but they're not terrible. So if they do that, I think Oakland has a chance to catch up in the game. So I don't know. I don't. It's kind of a weird. I'm trying to figure out game theory. Maybe I'm thinking into it too much. I just think they're gonna have to score through the air, Denver, anyway. So I do like the wide receivers, but I wonder how much their upside is going to be limited if they do get out to a lead like that. But we'll see. I still like Sanders for cash and Thomas for cash. I like them both.
Yeah, you're right. I don't necessarily mind Simeon. I think the Denver at home narrative can still play a little bit, due to conditioning. Obviously, you saw it, and for next year, use the same thing. Right when Denver plays at home, if they play home again, you play them hard. Because Simeon is Simeon, obviously, but he can still put up enough good numbers when he's home. So yeah, I might throw GPP in there. Our next matchup is Detroit at Minnesota. The over/under is 42.5. Again, I don't know how much there is to go over in this game. I know there's a few big plays that people are talking about. The more I've looked, the less I've kind of gotten on it. Some of the only key things I see right now is Minnesota is actually 29th DVOA against the tight end. I wouldn't necessarily take another shot at Ebron.
I hate this guy. I don't like this guy. He's terrible.
He is. Right when you want to play him in a perfect spot, but then in the spots,
he's one of the. It's not a thing for me. I don't care if I lose millions of dollars anymore.
But I bet this is that spot where no one's going to be on him because of course they got burned by him. And what is he going to do? He's going to go out there and hit.
I'm sorry.
He's
burned people way too. It's not even like once or twice. It's like 12.
Oh, it's habitual.
Times.
He's Kobe Fleener 2.0.
Yeah, but he doesn't win you GPPs like hardly ever. Maybe once in his like fantasy career, like you needed him. Like, so I don't care. I'm just not playing him ever again, unless like there's no one else. And even then, I'd probably pick the guy who's coming off the street because he's that terrible. I hate him.
Did you think Detroit gets down in this game? That defense is good. They can't go. I don't know where else they're gonna go.
Yeah,
that's why. And I wouldn't even be shocked. I think this is a sneaky Abdullah play too.
It's a sneaky tape play because I don't hear anyone talking about.
No, I don't think so, man. Who's getting Rhodes is gonna be on Jones?
Yeah.
I mean, are you maybe?
And if it's not Jones, it's gonna be Galladay. It doesn't matter. He stays on the outside, so he doesn't go into the slot. And so I like
Tate game.
Tate in GPPs. I don't think a lot of people are gonna be on him at all. I'm not gonna go there in cash only because I do respect their defense, but I like him in GPPs for sure. He's gonna be facing off with who is this? Terrence Newman.
Sure.
He's not terrible, but he's not like anything special either. So
coming from the Minnesota side, everyone so far this week has been talking up Cook. I think I've kind of fallen off of Cook a bit. I was all about playing him no matter what, everywhere. I was going to be 100% Cook. But the more I look at it, I don't know. It makes me nervous. I think I'd rather pay up a little bit more for safer matchups.
Who are you talking about? Jared Cook?
No, Dalvin.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just blanked out.
That running back that's doing well right now.
Yeah. He's actually on my fantasy team, one of them. So, and he's definitely doing well. Yeah, I'm not on him. I'll probably not be on him at all, which kind of like scares me. But that's how good he's been, and they want to give him the ball. So,
look, you want to pass against the Vikings, against the Lions right now. You know.
Yeah, I love Thielen.
Me too.
Thielen, and definitely. People are like, "Oh, Diggs." Like, do they not know who Darius Slay is? And I don't understand.
No, this defense. You're right. No, and that's what I don't think people are giving the Lions defense enough credit. Just like they don't give the next teams we're going to talk about defense enough credit. But still, no. Yeah, you're right. And it's at home. I think you're going to see. Case Keenum's home road splits be crazy.
I love Case Keenum
because I think
I'm gonna play him.
Oh God, you know what? And we did this last week with Kaiser, and I laughed at your face, and I should have played Kaiser.
Yeah,
you were looking to play Case Keenum.
Yeah, like
even after Matt Ryan just threw 3 interceptions against the Detroit's defense.
Look,
MVP Matt Ryan.
Detroit's defense not that good. I'm sorry.
They look better. They beat the Atlanta Falcons.
If what I'm thinking is gonna happen, it's just gonna be Adam Thielen Day, like 3 touchdowns. Like there's no reason to throw to Diggs, and they're gonna have to pay attention to Diggs regardless. So like Darius Slay on him, sure, but if he's giving them any type of trouble or anything, like they're gonna be like, oh snap, where's Diggs? Like Thielen just, I love him in the spot, and maybe I love Case Keenum.
See, I feel like this is the burn because everyone wanted to play Thielen against Pittsburgh. Yeah. Sam Bradford was out. He wasn't a play. Then everyone was off of him last week, and he goes nuts. And I feel like this is the nut spot where you're going to feel like a fish when you play Adam Thielen, and you should have played Hopkins or Fitzgerald.
Okay,
and you're
I'm only playing Case Keenum in a GVP, and it's just probably one lineup too.
Yeah, but I would look in any. If we like this matchup, I would play Adam Thielen in cash.
No, I am considering Adam Thielen in cash, like 100%. And I probably will go there. I think his targets are safe. His playing time safe. Like
his targets against Pittsburgh were reasonably safe as well.
And it's he's cheap. He's like 6,400 on FanDuel. Like I forget. It's cheap.
Yeah, I know he's 58 over in TK. It's cheap.
And I love it. Like I don't care. Like he I think this offense is like almost like what's it called? Denver's, where you know who the ball's going to. It's Thielen, Diggs, and Cooks now. And now Rudolph, he's been kind of phased out, but I don't care. Like, these guys are legit pass catchers. Like, they're gonna see their value. And if you
look,
think
the more Keenum gets familiar with the first team reps and blah blah blah, like, he's a gunslinger. It's what he does.
Exactly my point. I love that. He's going to throw. Maybe I don't need him. Like, I'll put him in GPP, like I said, but I think he's going to be throwing to them a lot. He doesn't care. He wants to. So I love it. I love the spot for him. I love him all year, really. Like, whoever the matchup is in favor of is who I'm going to be targeting on the Vikings for, like, weeks to come. So,
all right. Our next matchup, did you have anyone else to talk about? I'm not really trying to play Rudolph.
No, just Thielen. Cooks is.
They have Rudolph blocking a lot more too now because that offensive line is bad. So that's what helps Thielen more.
Yeah, exactly, because they're gonna get rid of it quicker.
There.
He's in the slot.
Yeah.
I love it. And Cooks GPP again. I'm not in love with him, but I can see the play. And what was the other side? Tate. I like Tate and GPP only, but I like it. So.
All right, our next matchup is Buffalo at Atlanta. One of the higher over-unders of the week. We have 48.5. With this line moved up too. So first off, let's do quarterback just to, I'm not really paying up for Matt Ryan.
No.
Tyrod Taylor is one of the highest rated quarterbacks on Pro Football Focus. The only problem is he's not going to have the volume. So you're really looking for...
Why do you say that?
Because they've been in the bottom 5 of passing in the past 2 years. And he's only going to throw 30 times.
Not if the Atlanta's up and he has to throw. And that's a more than likely possibility. This game...
this game could blow out. I'm not saying this game could blow out, but I still don't think I think Tyrod Taylor is your best value of the week across the board on any position.
We don't hate him.
I think I think his floor in this matchup is high enough where he'll give you 40 plus yards running.
Exactly.
He can run you in a touchdown.
Exactly.
They obviously Buffalo has a 20.25 total, so it's on about 21, so they're thinking about 3 touchdowns, right? So
I could see more than that because
they're going to have to. It's a good game script. Atlanta's defense is not the best defense.
Yeah, they're okay, but they're not. And what they do, they like giving up the middle to the running backs and tight ends. And what does that mean? Tyrod Taylor is going to be able to run or dump it off, and I think his floor is really safe. I mean, the only thing is he's on the road, right?
Right.
Yeah, so he has better home splits, but I think the game is going to force him into a high floor, and he's going to pay off his salary this week. I like him. It's between him and Simeon and Palmer, I think, for me at this point, in cash. But I'm leaning him as we're talking about this.
So that being said, are you playing McCoy?
I love him this week, but I'm scared that I love him.
Right.
I
love playing LeSean McCoy.
I'm all in on it almost, and it's.
I don't know if I can do it in cash. There are some other better, safer plays, but GPP, Taylor, McCoy, Clay stack. I think that is a stack that could definitely pay off.
I think I like Taylor and just McCoy. I think Clay could catch one. Here's my thing. I know you like your cheap tight ends and stuff, but
Clay isn't even cheap this week.
My whole point is you're looking for upside.
I guess he is.
Clay is more of a cash plug-in. If everything else fits and he's cheap, you need him. So fine, but
sure, but I mean, he scored 15 points in DK the past in 2 out of the 3 matchups. But
that's my point.
This is a matchup where he could have 20.
I don't see that. Honestly.
He absolutely could have 6 for 80, maybe not 80, but 6 for 40 and 2 touchdowns. Look, I think he has a solid floor. I think he has a solid
Yes.
floor at 3,700. He's
That's
going to be
better.
chalk. Okay, the
But
only
that's my
way I
point.
would play
I'd
him,
rather get
yeah,
off of
no, no,
that.
no. But the only way I'd play him is if I'm stacking the game. If you're stacking the Bills, he should, I would put him in it.
No, I don't care for it. I think the points are just going to be all Tyrod and McCoy's. Like I don't think like we see it even when he has the good games. It's only like it never hits 20 points.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It just doesn't.
You're right.
So he's too limited for me to like be like, all right, in GPP I'm gonna stack with him. No, like I need to stack the Kelseys, the Ertz. Those are the guys I need in GPPs because
Sure.
I could get the cheaper wide receivers to cover that salary.
On the other end of the ball, I love Freeman. No one plays him. He's always under owned. They're all going to be on Zeke. They're all going to be on Gurley, who we'll get to in a second. He's at home. He's so good at home. They're giving him the majority of the splits. This is not what it was like last year when it was almost 50-50 him and Tavon. I think he's as cash perfect as you can have. I know Buffalo Bills defense is good, but they're going to spread this ball around. It's going to open up the defense. The Bills are good. They have a decent defense. I know they haven't played anyone of note yet.
Yeah.
Per se. I mean, we all knew this Denver team was going to, come up short, I think, offensively. I didn't know they were, like, who was going to win the game, but I figured Denver wasn't going to, perform great on the road in Buffalo. But, Matt Ryan is the reigning MVP. He came off a close game against the Lions. They're back at home. I think they're going to want to show something off. I don't necessarily like any of the wide receivers per se. I still think there's better value other than Julio. I don't mind Hooper. Buffalo is the third worst DVOA against... no, they're 28th versus the tight end right now.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at that as well, but again, like Hooper, we saw that one game. I just think that's going to be his best game all year. It doesn't work in his favor to that offense has too many weapons, and that was broken coverage, that big game of his.
Of course.
So it's just I don't see that happening all year again. Like I just don't.
Right. I mean, Atlanta has almost a 29-point implied total. There's going to be points. Oh, God, I love Devontae.
It's Julio.
You think? Freeman. I think Freeman scores 3 touchdowns this week.
I mean, I could see that too, and I'm gonna have my fair shares of Freeman because, like you said, no one plays him, and he does well in that offense. Like the matchups almost don't matter anymore. Like even against
and I can get burned on this because maybe Buffalo's defense is just that good.
Sure, but like I think.
But on the turf, Atlanta, he's gonna do it, man.
They're pushing. I think they help him. I like the call. I'm not gonna do that in cash, obviously. Are you doing that in cash?
Devontae?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I'm looking at it.
That's bold.
It's been a year, so why not keep going with it? But I mean, 20 points.
Yeah.
20 points. I just think he's gonna get 20 points. Like I don't. What's his floor?
Yeah, no, it's a good floor. You're right. I mean,
10, 11, 12. Stop! Don't talk me off of it. I was so excited for him.
No, I like it.
I don't. He's gonna get the volume.
And you know what? I like your instincts. You're pretty good. Last year you were really spot on with it. I like it. Stay with it. Stick with it. Believe in yourself. That's the way to start.
Yeah. No, I think look, maybe not so much catch. It's weird this week with running back because, there's only really one guy at the top that I'm looking at. Sorry. Yeah, it's a weird week for running backs. It kind of like last year week was a weird one for quarterbacks. I'm not paying up for Bell. Maybe I'll pay up for McCoy, but I'm not going to do that in cash. I mean, in our next matchup, we have to choose one. Um, between Elliott and Gurley. Yeah, I think I just like Freeman. I think people are going to be off of him. I love him in GPPs.
Yeah, you're making me think about it. I don't. I'm gonna have a few shares in GPPs, but I'm not gonna go. I don't love it. I don't. Like, the floor is good. I just don't. Again, the ceiling for that price, I just don't. Like, I'd rather go McCoy. I think he has the bigger ceiling. But that's
but
just
his
me.
ceiling is three. Like he could legitimately get 3 touchdowns this week.
Yeah, that's fine. I just don't see it happening.
Because they're gonna if they get up, they're just gonna run him. And it doesn't matter how good the Buffalo Bills defense is, he's gonna have 25 plus attempts. He's gonna have 100. He's gonna get your 100 bonus like on DK, and he's gonna have 2 touchdowns.
What do you think about Sanu this week?
No, I'm off.
He's gonna score 2 touchdowns.
I had him last week,
and he did good.
He did. He did what I wanted him to do. He was a good catch play.
I think he could do it again.
Sure.
I don't think they're gonna go to the run as much, and maybe I'm wrong. I just think Matt Ryan's gonna be like, "Hey, Julio," and then Sanu's like, "Oh, you're in the end zone." Hey, like, I think it's gonna happen that way. I do. So, like, I'm sorry if I'm talking you off of it. But here's my thing. Like, you're right. Like, his floor is safe, and so even if he gets in a touchdown, like, you're good because he's gonna get enough yards that
he's gonna. I don't see him not providing.
Yeah.
A decent floor. I mean, like Zeke? What's Zeke outcomes? Like, we'll get into that next. Yeah. But I mean, looking at all these other guys, like, I think he's just a safe bet for almost 100 yards and a touchdown. So that's 16 right there with a this year, give me 16, knowing that I'm gonna get 16, and then we'll go from there. Because it's just crazy. Like, I don't know. I just think and at home he has crazy home road splits, and I think we're done talking about Devontae Freeman right now.
Yeah. It's up in the air. You do you, I'll do me.
Yeah. All right. Our next. Do you have anyone else from this game?
Julio, Sanu, and
no. So our next matchup is the Los Angeles Rams at the Dallas Cowboys. An over-under that has shot up since the beginning of the week at 48. Who you going with? You got to pick one. Pick one.
I'm sorry. Who's facing each other?
The Rams and the Cowboys.
Rams, Cowboys.
Pick a running back. They're right next to each other.
Ezekiel all day. Not even close.
Yeah?
Yeah. You know how I feel about Gurley. I think he's trash. So
I'm going Gurley.
Yeah, okay, do it. I'm gonna take your man.
And this is why they have on Pro Football Focus they have the O-line D-line matchups, and it is a positive matchup for the Rams, like 23%.
It's really positive. Yeah, I'm looking at
it. It's and that's the only reason why. I think Zeke eats too. I think they both go nuts.
I don't. But here's my point. Like, sure, the line helps him. How do you still not average good amounts of yards per carry if your line is that good? Like, I'm looking at that number, and they should be pushing everyone at least 2 yards.
The volume.
And, oh God, he pisses me off.
But that's why he gets his 3 yards. He just can't break anything else. But if he's always going to get positive yardage.
I can't do it over here at FanDuel because the PPR doesn't matter to me as much.
Sure.
For you, love it there because I get it. And him and Melvin Gordon.
I think Elliott's super chalk.
I mean, I'm probably...
And I could be a fish for not playing Elliott because I played him last week. And he didn't do bad. He had a good game. And I don't mind playing Elliott again. That's what I need. So this is where I'm talking about. In cash, and maybe I need to play Elliott, Gurley, and Freeman.
You could, right?
I'm sure. I don't know who the hell else I'd play, but like maybe.
Elliot, you can. Did we get into any? No, we don't. All right. Yeah, no, I like it. I like both because I FanDuel I like Elliot better, but
The only other real play I have from this game, actually, I don't really mind the Dallas side. They have a 27-point implied team total, which is fifth on the slate. The Rams are lower. They only have 20. So, I mean, if you're looking at Vegas' side, yeah, maybe you're going Zeke. I do love Dak. I love Dak this week. I think if you're not going to go Taylor, you got to go Dak.
but
He's
why
been
do you love him?
consistent. Oh, the floor is so high at 6,200. He hasn't gotten less than 17 points. So look, you're not getting good value per se from a point per dollar, but like your floor is high. And even in a game that he didn't even do that much, he only had 183 yards last week and 2 touchdowns, but he still had 23 points. So he's safe. And he was safe last year. He's been safe. Like that's what he does. He's a cash game play. I don't know how high his ceiling is. I do love Dez this week. We've been waiting for Dez to have a good matchup against good cornerbacks, bad cornerbacks, and this is finally it. I don't mind playing him. I think people might be off of him as much, but I don't mind that. Like you're going Tyrod or Carson. I'm either going Dak or Tyrod.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I might even play Simeon over Dak. I like Simeon this week too because I love their pass catchers. Why wouldn't I like him? And that Oakland defense is shit. So I don't. I want the upside. I get the safety, but I still here's my point in cash games. Like I know we want to be safe, but I still want guys that can still go crazy. So
but they're not on the board anymore. They already played and they're not on my slate. Drew Brees is on early. Rodgers already played. I can't play Wilson, even though I don't know how crazy he goes, but he's one of those guys. Yeah. All I have is Tom Brady. You're either paying for Tom Brady or you're not. And I don't,
Yeah. No,
Tom Brady this week is probably a great GPP because people aren't going to want to pay for him.
In GPP, yeah. But yeah, then considering all that, I agree. It's you got to go down, and you don't have. Do you have Palmer? Or you just don't want him?
Sure, he's another play, but in that range, there's $100 difference between the two.
I get it.
In cash, I'm playing Prescott and Palmer. In GPPs, I'll play Palmer, but
Prescott and Taylor, you mean in cash?
Yeah, no, but I'll pay Palmer in a GPP and I'll play Prescott in a cash.
I gotcha. All right.
All right. Did you have any other plays?
What? No.
All right. We're a little short on time. We got Tennessee at Houston, 43.5. This is one I'm not really looking to target too much. I do love Rashard Matthews. He kind of eats against Houston. His past 2 meetings, one game he had 6 catches for 80 yards, and then the next one he went 9 for 114 and a touchdown. I think he's a safe play. He's cheap. He's kind of that salary relief you need in order to fit those guys. Like I said, there's only a couple of wide receivers that are cheap enough that for me to really play them in cash. Murray, I think, has some GPP potential on Tennessee. I'm not really looking to go there, though.
Either.
On Houston's end, Hopkins is going to be chalk. But I don't mind it.
It's for a good reason.
I also think everyone's going to be on Watson, and I'm fading him hard.
Look, Houston's just. I mean, Tennessee's defense is just terrible.
Right. But
So
all I hear everyone talking about is that Dick LeBeau likes to pressure young quarterbacks, and which is something New England cannot do. So,
yeah.
no, I'm not. I'm not looking to play it.
Yeah. I'm gonna play some of him in GPP. Like I said, I like young quarterbacks that have the mobile asset because it could get them out of jams and
Sure.
against a bad defense like this. Like I love DeAndre Hopkins, like everyone else will this weekend, and it's for a good reason. Like they just can't stop any wide receivers out there.
Sure.
And now you have Fuller back, so that should help
That's true.
DeAndre. And so I think Watson could throw for 3 touchdowns. It wouldn't surprise me. And at his salary paired out with Hopkins, I think maybe it might be a little chalkier.
Oh, that's gonna be the chalk stack of the week.
Yeah, but if Nuke goes off and you have them too, like you're tied with a bunch of people, but at least you're in that spot where all right now.
But I'd rather have that Tyrod McCoy stack. And
me too. Like
no one's gonna be on it.
I get it. I'm gonna have. I just like varying my plays so I can have a part of it just in case it does go off. Now I'm still in the fight for the.
I would rather have a Dak Dez. I think Dez gets 2. I think Dez is gonna have one of those games where he has 58 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I hate those games.
But that's what he does.
He's annoying. His face is annoying.
All right. Do you have any other plays on this? I mean, I don't mind. They really.
What's happened to Delaney Walker? Like, where has he been?
Nothing.
I don't get it.
14, 16, 7 on my site. I mean,
I guess
that's what he does. He's a cash guy. He's at 4,900 on DK. He's outpriced right now, just like Shepard was. You're either paying up for those guys or you're paying down to get some salary relief.
What do you think about Mariota?
Nah.
Okay.
Not that I just don't. I've never been a Mariota guy.
I love the kid. I hope he really.
I know he has crazy efficiency, and maybe he's that runner, like maybe he's the one that's going to run for a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, I like Rashard Matthews with him. I don't know. I might sprinkle him, get a GPP with him. I just, those guys can always win big for you. Like he's won GPPs for people, and it's because of his legs. I love the guys that can move with their legs. So,
but he's he's not been good in Houston.
Okay. So
that's why I'm not feeling it. All right, our next game we have Philadelphia at the Chargers, 47.5. Both teams have a pretty tight implied total. A lot of people are talking about this one shooting out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like anyone on Philly, but Carson Wentz is a play. If we think they're going to score points, we don't know where it's coming from. I think he's
my top play again. Every week he's my top play until he's $9,000. Like I was talking about before when we started the show, like I on FanDuel, like I want to know I'm seeing 7+ targets from my tight end, and knowing that he's seeing that plus being targeted in the red zone, he's their main option at the tight end position. Like no one else has that on their team besides Gronk and Kelsey, and they're not technically the main option. He is the main option on offense. Like that's the guy they want to throw to. He goes downfield. So he, to me, has the highest floor and like one of the highest ceilings because they are peppering him with targets and he does catch the ball, and Wentz and him have a good rapport. I don't find a reason to fade him. Like right now, with his price still being reasonable, he's like a wide receiver at the tight end position. Where the tight end position, it's all, let me play Jack Doyle and I'll do it. And yeah, you see what happens? Like it's annoying and I hate it. So I just want to get rid of that completely and know I'm safe there and find the value elsewhere. Like I'm just over it, and that's what I'm going to be doing from now on. So
I will not be playing Zach Ertz.
Right.
DK, it's tough, man.
I know.
For $300 more, I could play Robert Krasky.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah.
It's just no. Not that I hate it either, but the Chargers defense is actually pretty good against the pass, whether it's because people are throwing against them, but like the way to attack them right now, 3 weeks in, is to run. Philadelphia doesn't have any running backs I care about.
Nope.
I don't know if this, man, the Chargers are 0-3. They're at home. Philadelphia just came off of a 60-yard field goal to win the game. I think this is a big letdown for the Eagles. I think the Clippers roll, or the Clippers.
You say
I
that
think the
every-
Chargers. That's 3 weeks in a row. I think the Chargers are gonna put it to them. The Giants showed how you can beat Philly. Everyone's kind of talking about Phillip Rivers this week. I'm not trying to pay up for quarterback, so I'm probably not going to play him too much. But I think Keenan gets peppered. I think Benjamin, he's that bold call, deep touchdown. I think people are going to say Williams, and maybe it's his week, but Benjamin has 7 targets of 20 yards or further. Phillip Rivers showed last year and has shown this year that he's the one that he wants to throw too deep. Phillip Rivers will always be a gunslinger. He's a poor man's homeless Brett Favre. If I'm going to attack the game, I'm attacking it from the Chargers side.
Yes,
And
I
that's
agree
all I
with.
have to talk about.
I agreed with every word you said there. Keenan Allen is the play. Travis Benjamin is the GPP play. Phillip Rivers, stack them up. Forget Melvin Gordon ever existed.
Yeah, I'm just off of him this week.
Yeah, I know.
But I.
No, I mean, I know you love him. I just hate him. That's why I said that, though.
Yeah, I know that's why he said it. But he's a lot better than JJ.
Whatever, man. That he's hurt. Ajay is hurt. Don't
I
play
don't
him.
care. He's
hurt. He doesn't suck. He is actually really good. If you remember last year,
I don't want to talk about it.
You saw,
I'm never
he
playing
had
him
a
again
great,
in my life. I'm never playing him again in my life. I don't care. I don't care. I'm never playing him again.
Who did he have the game against?
No.
It was like 2 games ago.
I don't care.
Did he play Buffalo?
We're going to the next game. All right. We have Carolina at the New England Patriots. This has probably been the hardest game for me to figure out, and that's why we saved it pretty much for last. I hate this game. I think that this is a great spot for Carolina if their quarterback wasn't garbage. And I think this was a great spot for New England, but Carolina's... I don't know. Which Carolina defense shows up? The one that got torched by Drew Brees?
I'll tell you.
Who are you looking at from I don't even know. I don't even know where to start with this game. I think I like Cooks.
I thought I liked Cooks, but then I saw the cornerback matchup. And
yeah, but they
what
Drew Brees just targeted Michael Thomas. Bah, 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 bah. And I think they're gonna do. They don't have to do the same thing. I don't know. Tom Brady naked.
Here's
and in Uggs.
Yeah, that's the picture everyone wants to.
That's
have.
it. I think that's the only.
The problem is with Cooks, and I was all about him at the beginning of the week. But if you go back and read a lot of articles on a lot of these websites, it's actually come to attention that Cooks does well when he's against a slower cornerback, and it's extreme, and it's been enough of a sample size.
I know it is, but half of that is because he was on turf for 2 years. Carolina is the 5th worst against number 1 wide receivers. But
look, I don't trust it. He's that volatile. He's not this guy you could trust every week. So in cash, no. If you want to throw him with Brady and GPP, fine. I'm just not going to do it. I'd rather play Brady naked, and because I could see him going to Hogan for one, for Amendola, for White, Gronkowski. So, and maybe Gronk's the best play with him. Actually, now that I think of that, I could see 3 touchdowns between both of them, more than I could see multiple touchdowns for anybody else.
Stack it. So, you looking at the run game at all?
The run game. Who are they playing? Carolina? No.
All right. The only person I have in play for Carolina is McCaffrey.
Yes.
And only I like him too.
But I won't play him on FanDuel. You will play him on DraftKings.
Absolutely.
FanDuel, he has no relevance.
No.
He.
I don't even think he has relevance in DK because Cam Newton sucks. And when they're that close, he just runs into touchdown instead of I don't want to talk. Not that I needed to stick to my own guns and be overweight. I think McCaffrey should have been 100%. I wanted to play him 100%. I should have last week. This is the week where I might fade it because I just don't think that the Carolina offense is competent enough to get him the ball.
Yep, I agree with that. They're terrible. So,
which
next
stinks. The only other games we have are the night ones. DK I can't play it in the slate, but Indianapolis at Seattle over under 41.5. I don't care about anyone from Indianapolis. Russell Wilson, Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, I don't know. Has Doug Baldwin been?
No, he's gonna play, but he's gonna be limited. Not that I think I cared too much about that either, but I really like Lockett, and I'm really pissed off that he didn't pay off last week, and I can't play him this week because this is the week
I would do it.
I think he's gonna do it.
I think so too. I like him.
God, I think he's gonna do it.
Like, especially if Baldwin's limited. Not that I, hope anyone gets injured, but if you're limited,
DK. That's what I'm feeling right now. Is because this is the spot I want to play him.
If Doug Baldwin's not, I mean, I get it. Like, they need to win some games, but you're throwing out a guy who maybe is just gonna be a decoy if he can't really do much. Whatever, Lockett's the guy then, and Lockett can get stuff going against this secondary. So I like it a lot, especially on FanDuel. He's really cheap, so it does help you out with salary relief. I'm not sure if I'm going there yet in cash, and I might have to, but I'm still going in between my low salary wide receiver and my low salary running backs. Mm-hmm. Another guy in this game is Carson, which, I don't know. I kind of think I have to play him. That way I don't have to make that decision when Lockett, and I could pay up for, the safety of an Emmanuel Sanders and, Keenan Allen's. And I think that's the way I'm going now.
If it's on your slate, and you want to do that New England stack and pay up for Brady and Gronk, Carson's a good way to go.
Yeah, we talked about the Cleveland Cincy game, but Joe Mixon, again, he's cheap on FanDuel as well. So if you even play him and Mixon, you just free up so much salary that it might be okay and work out in GPP, only because they're gonna see the volume. We're assuming that Mixon's the primary guy now, and he's gonna see 20 touches. And Carson has shown that he is, and the coach Pete Carroll, he's been impressed with Carson. So these guys should see 20 carries and with receptions, and in their matchups, they can easily pay out their price tags, and you can be skyrocketing in GPPs with the other positions having a lot of elite guys. So just food for thought.
Sure. All right, that's it. Give me your bold call of the week.
Bold call of the week. Hey, Kenny Stills did score a touchdown. I was right. He did.
Right? You were just missing the other one.
Yeah, he didn't score 2, but I could see that coming. Bold call of the week. Do you have one? Because I need a minute.
Yeah, I think it's Bilal Powell's going to run for 2 touchdowns and catch 6 receptions for over 50 yards.
That's insanity that I like. I will not play him at all, so I hope that's not true. But my bold call is that sugar. Okay, my bold call is that Tyrod Taylor leads all QBs in fantasy scoring.
Now that is a bold call.
I like it.
That's what I like to hear. All right, guys.
Keep playing them.
Thank you for sticking with us. Please subscribe to the channel down below. Check us out on Stitcher and iTunes now. If you're in the car and want to follow along, we'll always be on there as well. Also, if you want help out the podcast, check out Pro Football Focus. Use the promo code EDGE5, get $5 off of your Edge subscription. It's what we love to use in order to help us figure out all these numbers and give you all these stats and guys to play and things you need to know. Justin, good luck to you.
Thank you, man. You too.
May all of your picks be fruitful and wonderful.
Yeah, I need it after last week. So.
Me too. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Insiders out.